Yo, welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Great Lake, and today we are going to be running the Shadow Annihilape paired with the Diggersby and the Wigglytuff in the back. Not a great lead. We go into the Diggersby and they catch the move onto their Lapras. So double waters reveal so far, right? And we are going to just tank this move. We survive it luckily, and we are going to be able to fire off a Scorching Sand. Scorching Sand doesn't get the debuff. We're trying to get to a Fire Punch, unable to. Our opponent throws it right before we get to it, so nice recognition by our opponent. We are going to go into this Wiggly and get that energy head start because we anticipate, okay, they actually go into their Feraligatr. Now we are going to have slight energy and health advantage. You can see right here our opponent does get to another move. We have to double shield here. We go for the farm down, we get the farm down, and now we can potentially threaten shield, and there's the shield. Now this is a regular Typhlosion, so we should survive this, and we do end up surviving it, but unfortunately one charm away from getting to the move. Otherwise, I think we still would have a chance, but regardless, if it was Shadow Typhlosion, it would have taken us out. So pretty close considering all things. All right, we got the Annihilape into the Fortress. The Fortress is staying in, interesting, and we fire off the Rage Fist. Huge damage. They get to throw a move here. Ends up being the Rock Tomb. The Rock Tomb does debuff us, but we are already boosted, so this is normal damage. And now we have slightly boosted counters going through. We go into the Diggersby, and the Diggersby tanks the fly. We force out, what is that? The Furret. So Furret decides to show up, and we did get the debuff, which is pretty nice because now we probably are going to get a shield here. Yeah, makes sense. And our opponent does throw the energy before we get to a Fire Punch, which would have chipped away at it. Our opponent ends up throwing the back-to-back, then combo plays into their Talon, and our opponent is going to run out of health because we did shield another fly, and we were going to be able to farm down that Talon, and then we would have been able to get that Pokemon in the back really low. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Wiggly in the back. Ooh, terrible lead here. At least we have about 1.5 answers. The Diggersby is not really an answer, but you can see this Fire Punch here does a decent amount for a neutral amount of damage. However, this Dripplin is just going to start ramping up their Icy Winds. We are debuffed, and they swap into their Blastoise. So Blastoise able to reach the move before we can get to a second Scorching Sands. Hydro is used, takes us out, and now we have to go into this Annihilape and try to get a lot of energy advantage. We let this go here, we can survive it, and we are definitely not going to survive this Hydro, so we have to shield and look for the farm down. Unable to get the farm down, but our opponent does swap out and lock themselves in for a bit. We tank the Icy Wind, and we're looking for the farm down now. Okay, let's see what they have in the very back, because we've already seen two of their Pokemon, and ends up being the Jump Love. So a double flying team. We fire off the Icy Wind, we get the shield, but they're now debuffed. We have a 50-50 call here. We are going to shield, and we shield the correct acrobatics. That allows us to get to another Icy Wind, which is kind of nice. Oh, they actually let it go. Now this acrobatics is double debuffed. Okay, our opponent does elect to try to catch the move, and because they actually tried to catch our move, now we have enough energy to fire up back-to-back Rage Fist. The first one was unable to go through, and then we finally get to another Rage Fist for the win. So off of a horrible lead, we were able to come back with that Annihilape, Shadow Annihilape, just farming the energy from Blastoise and the catch. and ending up going for the back-to-back Rage Fist. Good lead here. Our opponent does swap out immediately into their Glider. This Glider is not Shadow, so we can tank these moves a little bit better. Dig is, I don't know, what is that, like 40% roughly? And we're going to fire off the Swift, and they end up shielding. Now, we can shield here, or we can try to call the bait, but our opponent does end up baiting with the Aerial Ace. We know they have two, so we can let the second one go. And now we have a Talon show up. This Talon here does get one Incinerate, but we get the Icy Wind debuff, which is kind of nice. So we don't really have to worry about that move, but they end up banking the move, resetting the debuff, going straight into their Greninja. Greninja ends up throwing the Night Slash. And the Night Slash would not have KO'd, but because we did get the Rage Fist boost, we are going to be able to farm down before they reach that second move. So GG to our opponent, able to come back into the Annihilape and close the game. Okay, this is a very interesting lead here. Swallet, it is resisting our counters. However, they are running the Mudshot version, so they are actually doing some good neutral damage, and we are just firing off these Rage Fist. So, unfortunate for us, 2 Rage Fist does not KO, and that is the beauty of the Swallet, able to get the lead with the Mudshot variant. Looks like this Diggersby has some work cut out, as we have a slight energy advantage, but oh gosh, and it ends up being a Steel type in the bag. This is not great, but maybe we can fire off enough charge moves that we can switch back and hopefully reset these debuffs. Now, our opponent is going to fire off a bunch of debuffs. Our goal was to try to switch right there. As you can see, we were trying to get out of there, but unfortunately the clock would not allow us to go back in yet. And even more unfortunate, they go for the Breaking Swipe, which allows them to debuff us and allows them to get to this extra move here. This Psychic Fang debuffs our defense and just makes us even more vulnerable. We have to just double shoot here at this point, and we're just trying to over farm. We have 2 Fire Punches. Is it going to be enough though? We actually have to get to a second, or technically third Fire Punch, because they did have another shield, and you can see the debuff actually came into play because we had the Fire Punch back to back. So check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.